Welcome to the Fallen State. I'm Jesse Lee Peterson. Thank you so much for being with me. I absolutely appreciate it. Today, more young people in our country are becoming atheists. I want to know why. I have with me Jaclyn Glenn.
So this is a conversation from a long time ago. It's like this is 7 years old. But this atheist activist YouTuber Jaclyn Glenn went on Jesse Lee Peterson's show. We had just covered a conversation that Jesse had with Ray Comfort. Then she covered it, so it made, and they showed some clips from this, so it made sense to just like follow it up because these conversations are just funny. Jesse Lee Peterson is just objectively funny. So we're gonna get into it. I am Brentley, and this is the Punk Apostate. Let's go. So like I said, this is Jesse Lee Peterson, Jaclyn Glenn. He introduced it just fine. He thinks that the world's just turning atheist. Pretty sure it's like still less than 5% or something like that. And I'm pretty sure it was back even less of the population back then. So I don't know. We'll let him talk about, talk down, I'm sure, to Jaclyn here.
She is a major voice for atheism on YouTube. Her channel is extremely popular. Even Richard Dawkins is a fan. Thank you so much for coming on.
Whoa.
Thank you for having me.
Whoa. Like, it's funny that back in the day was like a, whoa, man, even Dawkins, dude. And nowadays you're like, don't want your endorsement, man. Could you just not like my stuff? Can you please don't watch this show? If you're watching, don't. Yeah, that'd be great. Just please don't endorse me. Man, come on.
You don't look like an atheist. How did that happen to you?
How does one look like an atheist?
Oh, kind of like
face tattoos, maybe maybe porn just on your face, just as your favorite part of a porn.
Satan.
No, atheists don't believe in Satan either.
Oh,
no, I mean, yeah, I get it though. That's a common thought process.
So define atheist.
Oh, she looks so different here. I know this is really old, but like she doesn't even look like how I would think she would look back then.
Atheism for me.
A person that does not believe in God.
Do they believe in Satan?
No.
The devil.
What did she just fucking say, Jesse? What did she say? How do you ask a question after it's answered? That's insane. She volunteered that fucking information, man. What are you doing?
So they don't believe in heaven or hell?
No.
Oh, okay. And so were you always an atheist?
No, actually, I grew up Catholic. I was raised Catholic from kindergarten through my senior year in high school. And then after that, I graduated and had personal issues, I guess you could say, with the Catholic Church. So I went more into...
Look, Kelly, that's sort of the whole point of the show. I don't know if you've watched this show before. The insanity is the whole point. Okay, I don't know if that bothers you. It's probably not the show for you. I just
being a Protestant, and then as far as evangelical, and then started questioning things, and from there ended up slowly as an atheist.
And so, are you able to tell us what was wrong? What type of personal issues you had with the Catholic Church?
Oh, their politics, a lot of their cover-ups of misconduct within the church.
You mean the homosexual men raping the boys?
Molestation, yes.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
As
what? Oh, because he's talking about the Catholic Church. It's just, I was, reading the comments for like 2 seconds, and then I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I'm back.
So at 18, that turned you off because you found out that this was happening and the church was covering it up?
That was a large part of it. Another thing that really affected me personally was one of my best friends growing up was gay, and he was in school with me and constantly felt this threat of losing scholarships to college or even admission to college because our school, had it set up such that anyone who was gay could potentially be expelled, and obviously that's going to look bad on a transcript to an Ivy League college, which is what he was trying to go for.
Damn, that's crazy. So like they can just expel you. And I think if she's talking about a Christian college, right? And you got to think, like, a lot of times you go to the colleges that your parents like pay you for you to go to, right? Like, especially if it's like if you're in some kind of like family like I grew up in, they're only going to send you to a Christian college. So if you're gay and they figure out that you're gay, you get kicked out of that, then it ruins all your prospects for like the rest of your life, basically. If you were like going for like what she's talking about, like Ivy League.
And just to see the pressure that put on him and the judgment that he faced and the fear he lived in every day, it just really kind of got to me. So that was another thing that really kind of hurt. And I found.
Yes, he is. EJ was like, is Jesse Lee Peterson a demonic spirit? Could be. I don't know, right? I mean, everything he says and tracks. On every front. It tracks that he's. If demons existed, he'd be it. That'd be. He's probably the best evidence for demons existing. You know what I mean?
Found that other denominations were more accepting. So that's kind of what got me to leave the structure of a Catholic church. And also, I was looking for some kind of feeling or connection to God, and I never really felt it, but I wanted to badly.
Right, I understand that. Why do gay people feel fear when no one really cares about them being gay? They should just be gay and not be concerned if someone find out or not.
For him particularly.
What? What is he saying? He's like, why are they all afraid since nobody even cares? It's not like I'm completely obsessed with it or anything and yell about them constantly or anything like that.
Really, there would have been consequences.
But he didn't have to feel fear because no one can tell unless he told them, right?
Right, but
people can find out, man. What are you talking about? Like, people talk, dude. Like, and if you get caught, like, I guess that's a more complicated concept than Jesse can handle.
But, he had to change the way he behaved. He had to try to act more masculine. He couldn't be himself.
Oh, he was acting like would normally be acting like a woman?
Well, he had more feminine characteristics.
So he wanted to act like a woman at school.
No. He didn't want to act like a woman. He just wanted to be attracted to men and not have to worry that he was going to lose his future for it.
Well, he just wanted to act like himself, man. The whether it's like a woman part is up to the observer, right? Like, that's not necessarily. He's not like, oh, I'd like to act like a woman. No, he's like, I'd like to act like myself. But that happens to be what some people would characterize as like a woman or like a gay guy. So yeah, that's sad, man.
And also, it's hard to have something that is that critical to who you are be something that you have to hide every day. You shouldn't feel like you can't tell your friends, because even me, he wouldn't tell me, and I knew him since we were like 8.
But that's not abnormal not to tell your friends. Most people don't go around telling their friends, I'm a sinner.
Okay, but that's
Is that true?
But I don't view it as a sin.
Oh, you don't?
No, I don't really believe in that concept of sin anyway.
I mean, yeah, some people do go around telling everybody that they're a sinner. Have you heard that song? I'm a winner, sinner. I forget, of course, now the song like falls out of my head. Tom Petty did it. There we go. I'll just say his name.
Do you view it as a sin when you were a Catholic?
Well, I mean, I understood what it meant, but now I kind of reject that.
But at the time you did see it as a sin.
No, and that's another thing. I kind of cherry picked what I wanted.
Oh.
And like, that was one thing that I just, I was like, you know what, God's cool. He wouldn't do that. He wouldn't judge somebody for that. So I kind of just mentally blocked that out. And then that's it's one of the reasons why I ended up losing my faith, because I had to come to terms with that and the fact that I was cherry picking, and I didn't want to admit it to myself. But when I finally did and actually looked at everything, I just couldn't be honest with myself and continue down that path.
Dude, like right there, what she just said was like the main, and not necessarily about the cherry picking part, but just about like realizing that you're lying to yourself, right? That was such a big part of my deconversion. It was just like, I'm an honest person and I hate bullshit. I hate like lying. I hate pretending stuff. And I could not get around the fact that I knew that I was lying to myself in order to, be doing and being who I knew my family and my community wanted me to do and be, you know what I mean? Like that was very difficult. I mean, and that was kind of what snapped me out of it, because I'm like, dude, I'm just fucking lying to myself. I'm just making stuff up and just looking for any kind of argument I can grab to be able to respond to these things, when I know inside me that this is irrational, that this is not reasonable to believe, but anyway.
Yeah.
And so you left that church and you went to a Protestant church, you say?
I delved into different Protestant churches. My dad's side of the family is more Protestant leaning. So it was kind of an easy transition for me, which, it was an insult to my very Roman Catholic
Yeah.
maternal side of the family.
Yes.
But it was something that I tried.
And did you feel closer to God once you became a Protestant?
I felt better with those environments than Catholic churches,
Right.
but
Well, Catholic environments are fucking creepy. Can we be real about that? There's like a whole genre of horror movie because of how fucking creepy Catholic, Catholicism just is in general. The old ass fucking buildings, the big echoey thing, like the giant statues of torture, murder, and then like this lady with all white eyes. You can't even see the pupils there, and it's like, and that's creepy. They need to start drawing on pupils on that Mary lady, like, because that's terrifying. Okay, she looks like she's gonna shoot lasers at you or something. It's terrifying.
still didn't feel like a thing.
And so did you go to another religion or church after you left there?
When I got engaged, my fiance's family influenced me a lot, and they were very evangelical.
Ah.
So for a while, a very brief while, I kind of adopted that mentality where I was just almost evangelizing to friends because I was afraid they were all going to go to hell. It was actually kind of bad. I said some hurtful things to people that I regret and have later apologized for.
That's a big one too. I remember literally trying to cut friends out of my life because they deconverted, they became atheists and stuff. And it wasn't like I was some super duper strong Christian at the time. Like I was going through my, rehab and all that type of stuff. But still, I was so dedicated to Christianity, even in the midst of all my, drug stuff, that I would cut people out of my life that were atheists. It's like my best friend growing up. I like basically just quit talking to him completely. We're like, we're back being cool again now, but it's just that, that you remember those kind of things, that you're willing to like cut somebody out of your life because of this stupid cult and the brainwashing that was associated with it.
But I briefly went into that, and then after that, I kind of did the agnostic thing for a while.
When you say I wanted to feel close to God, what were you looking?
And if you want to feel close to God, just go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brantley at checkout, and you can get all the dildos and vibrators and everything else to make you feel as close to God as you can possibly be. So go to adamandeve.com, enter that code word Brantley, and you'll get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Let's go to adamandeve.com and enter that code word Brantley. That's Brently at checkout. Get your butt some stuff. Okay. And yeah, if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. If you're new here and you like what I do, we kind of just make fun of Christian content, making fun of FundyTube. That's what I call it. So yeah, if you want to like and subscribe, that'd be great. Let's see who won today. How's everybody doing? You doing all right? The sequel one. Oh, well, that makes sense. The sequel one was he was the one that sent me this and said we should cover it. So I was like, no problem. And this goes to show you, if you want me to cover something, just send it to me. You can send it to me through Discord or my email address, punkapostate@gmail.com. There's a lot of ways you can do it. Just send me whatever, whatever you want me to cover. I'll do it. And let's see who was second. James is second. All right, James, how we doing, man? And Ember was third. All right. So we're going on an adventure. That's right. We absolutely are. Dang, the early bird. Oh my God. That was like an hour ago. That was like an hour before I started. That's funny. Hey, whatever you got to do. That's all right. You did make it first. So that's what hey, Wolfos is here. All right, cool. So I'm too high not to be here today. That is the best state of mind, I think, probably, to watch this shit. It keeps you from dying of the cringe that all happens here on this big screen over over this way. See that bigger screen? That's where the cringe happens, right? I'm totally not cringy. I'm normal, and I make it very normal.
Looking for?
I guess I just really wanted to believe it. I just wanted to feel like I wasn't tricking myself, which is kind of what I had been doing for a while.
That's it too, right there. See, I think that's just, I like that she's just putting it out there, because like that is exactly what it was. And it was like, you recognize that. Or I did, when I was deconverting, it was just like, oh shit, I'm just fucking lying to myself, and I'm trying to pretend like I'm not.
And it seemed such a nice idea. I get it. There is a comfort that comes from feeling like there's somebody watching you, taking care of you, looking after you, that there is some afterlife that you can look forward to and see your loved ones that you care about that have passed. That's very comforting, and that's the thing I didn't want to let go of.
Did you know that there is no feeling to God? When you come to God,
there's no filling. What is a filling? What, like a cream filling? God doesn't have a cream filling, like a donut? Well, that right there is reason to not believe in him. I was really hoping I could eat him when I got up there, especially if he had a cream. But jelly would actually be better. Jelly filling, I think, maybe. Giselle, it's not how we do it. 16 said, I'm here for a little bit. That's it. Yeah, that's all right. You're here right now when you wrote that. So that's what matters there. Let's see. Amber said, this is Jesse Lee. Oh, yeah, that's right. He doesn't listen. Is Jesse Lee Peterson? Oh, yeah, we did that one too. And yes, that is the answer to that. Hey, Grand Theft Auto, what's up, dude? Hey, everybody. Hey, Al Trucker's here too. All right. Fuck yeah, dude. All right, we got the whole gang. The whole gang is here.
the thing that's missing in you is the conflict that you have. The worry, the fears, the doubt, the insecurity, the feeling of lack of love. All those things go away, and there's no feeling.
Okay, I think what I was searching for
most people looking for a feeling.
Yeah, a feeling, but more of a belief. I wanted to feel like it was real.
Right.
And that's something that I just never could bring myself to fully accept, even though for a long time I did it anyway, hoping that if I go with it long enough, then eventually it will become me, but it didn't.
You could never believe in God?
Not fully. There was always something in me that felt like I was kind of just going through the motions.
But now you believe there is no God.
I don't believe in God.
And so why is it easier to not believe in him than
see how he like flipped it there, right? Like they always have to do that. Now you believe a positive belief that there isn't a God that exists. And it's like that's not the right way to say that, right? It's like, I mean, I think there are some people, like you said, like the hard atheist or whatever, would make a positive claim of non-existence, but I feel like that's, as nebulous as the God claim is, they can, if we figure out that something caused the universe or whatever to expand or whatever, but it just happens to be some kind of something that we've never even encountered before, that is just completely different than anything we understand, they would point to that and go, see, you said that you didn't believe in that. And it's like, but that's just the thing that you're now associating with the thing that you already said, which was a fucking man, an undead carpenter ghost man that lived inside of you. That's not that, but see, they'll just apply it to that, you know what I mean? Because they're like, but that was one of the characteristics. It was the thing that caused the universe, so therefore you didn't believe that the thing that caused the universe exists. And it's a fucking that's why I say, like, it's almost like you can make a positive claim of non-existence because it's so nebulous. But yeah, anyway. Oh, hey, Left-Handed Jedi, what's up, dude? Hey, thank you. All right, we got five Punk Apostate memberships handing out. Get them while they're hot. Get them. Slap them off like he's doing a card deck. That's what I always picture. It's like a deck of cards and just memberships like that, or money. And that's actually more like a stack of money, right? That's more a money thing, right? That's a strip club move of some sort, right? I don't know. I don't go to strip clubs.
It is to believe in him.
I feel like, for me, one of the major things that helped me with that was education. Like I graduated with a degree in biomedical sciences, And then I went to medical school for 3 years. One of the biggest things that I learned from it was how to critically think and analyze data and value evidence. And it's something that I feel like is necessary for me to accept anything. And at this point, I had already kind of said that I was agnostic because there were so many things that just didn't personally feel right for me with the specifics of religion, belief aside. But then whenever I went to school for so long and had to rely on these processes of thought to help save lives, and I realized the importance of it, that is kind of one thing that just, it stuck with me. It's a way of training your brain to process information. And
How is Jesse letting her talk for so long? This is weird, right? Does he like wait to a certain point and then is like, all right, now it's time to interrupt everything she said. That's why we're gonna just start knocking it down.
if you don't have the information to process, what reason do you have to believe in it?
It's fair then to say that education helped to convince you to believe that, to not to believe in God.
Education altered my way of thinking in a more critical sense. So I used those skills and applied that in other areas of life. But it's not like any class told me not to believe in God.
You see what he's doing? He's like, yeah, that everybody, we gotta not believe it. The education telling them that God doesn't exist. So that's why your kids need to be uneducated. That's what that is. Don't send your kid to college. Don't do it.
And so do you believe that you are a critical thinker now?
Yes.
You are? You do
Yeah,
believe
but
that?
I don't feel that that's a unique thing to non-religious people. Just so that you're, I mean, like a lot of
Right.
people think like, oh, I talk about critical thinking all the time. That's not to say that religious people don't have that as well.
Are you close to your earthly father?
Yes.
You are close. And were you close to him while growing up?
I've always had a great relationship with my parents.
Was he, and he believed in God?
Both my parents are religious.
And are they an example of people who believe in God? Are they a living example or just a wordy example?
By your definition,
What?
you would say yes. They are really great people. My mom cares for both her elderly parents. My
But
dad
what-
actually sings Christian music. Like they're amazing people.
Okay,
But
it
what-
is that. Like, okay, I was gonna say because I was like, when she said Catholic or whatever, I thought I remembered her like when the one of the first things that I saw when I was deconverting, I guess. Or not even. I think it was just before I got it. Anyway, but she was singing some worship song, and I think that's why she came up in my feed. And then, and I liked it and stuff because I was still a Christian at that time. And then I guess like she did some other follow up video. I was like, oh, it's that lady that did the worship song, and she's like, yeah, sometimes I sing worship songs because my dad's a Christian musician, but I'm an atheist. And I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? This is so crazy. And that was like one of the first videos that like steered me in that direction. So it's just kind of funny. That's why I remember her face. I didn't know who she was or anything. I just remembered her face and her talking about that.
What's the real deal? Because you're right, they can show me one thing, but being their child, you're behind closed doors with them. You see.
Well, I
a
mean, no
different
one's
thing.
perfect, and I don't expect perfection from anyone.
You don't.
No, of
Why
course
not?
not. Because that's unreasonable.
Why is
You know,
that?
Yeah.
because
So Amber said, that's a good point about knowledge claims. Kind of arrogant of believers to assume we know every kind of a thing, uh, a being could be. Like we've never discovered totally unimaginable things before. Exactly. That's like my whole thing when I'm talking about like the atheism and stuff. It's that we don't I can't really say that I do believe or don't believe in a concept that I don't understand, that I don't have any concept of, right? Like that that I can't put together, right? Because I don't know what it is, right? It's just so fucking broad and it's defined in all these different ways. How am I supposed to say that I do believe in that or don't believe in that? I can't, right? So I'm just like that. I mean, and of course the atheist position is the extremely like I know this doesn't exist or whatever because the question is so meaningless. But to me, I almost take that understanding to go to like an agnostic place because it's like it is a meaningless question, but we then I'll land on the conclusion that I don't know. I have no idea because I can't even put the concept together. It's so broad and nebulous and weird. But yeah, I don't know. Thank you. Yeah, that's the way I've been thinking about it lately.
well, the thing is I put no one on a pedestal. You know, if someone makes a mistake, it's much easier for me to forgive them and look past
But
it
they don't
whenever I
have to be
realize.
on a pedestal
No shit,
to
really?
expect perfection from them.
Well, you can hope for.
That's funny. Okay, so last master said Jaclyn Glenn should go away. Plagiarism. Well, she did. Just by the way, she did go away. I don't think she makes really anything anymore, does she? Because she got. I didn't really look into what it was. Like, she just sort of came up the last time because of a Ray Comfort video from years back. Because I'm just kind of like watching old stuff, right? And yeah, and I did look up a little bit of some of the stuff. People did not like her for a plethora of reasons, right? But I didn't catch the plagiarizing one. It was mostly like stuff like somebody was saying that like she was saying like anti-feminist stuff. You know what I mean? But I don't know. That was mostly what I had seen. You know, I Googled Jaclyn Glenn the controversy or some shit, right? So it was just like, I don't know. It was, I mean, it's expected with people that are this big. Not plagiarizing, that's not expected with people this big. But it's funny too, because who is the other person that did that just gotten not canceled, but I kind of like canceled, like nobody wants to listen to it. It's that Illuminati. That lady's insane, and apparently she like stole a bunch of shit too. And anyway, let's see. Gisela said, "Yeah, I haven't heard that. What did she plagiarize? Yeah, I don't know. No, she was copying articles that people wrote and videos and claiming them as her own. Jesus, that's lazy. Wow. Okay. Well." Don't do that. I mean, when you're this famous, so you think that people aren't going to figure this out? I don't understand why people do stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like when you have this big of a platform, and she was mega, big at the time. Of course, people are going to figure it out. Like, what are you talking about? Why would you? Okay.
For perfection, but to expect it is something totally different.
Am I hearing you say that behind closed doors, your parents were not a living example of people who believed in God?
I think they were better than most people who claim to believe in God.
But were they a living example?
I'm not sure what you're trying to say.
I'm
They were great. I mean, my mom didn't have.
He's trying to say that your parents fucked up and made you an atheist because your dad just wasn't there. Your dad like did bad stuff to you. Whatever.
Money growing up, and she still found a way to sacrifice enough to send me to a religious school, which was expensive and something that she really couldn't afford. But she did it anyways because she cared.
But were the parents of patience and understanding when dealing with you and with each other?
I don't.
Did they fight?
Grand Theft Auto Bot said Illuminati and James Somerton. I don't know who James Somerton is, but I know Illuminati. That whole situation was wild. Illuminati by nature. Yeah.
I mean, occasionally, but not really. I mean, it didn't really see much.
Understanding when dealing with you and with each other. Did they fight?
I mean, occasionally, but not really. I mean, it didn't really see much of it.
Were your father, the head of your mother?
I mean, I suppose in different aspects.
Was he?
And depending on what area you're talking about.
Were there areas where he was and other areas where he was not?
My mom was more present because my dad is a musician and travels.
Oh, okay.
But I mean, they're both great people. I mean, I am very happy with.
You want so badly to be like, if you let the woman in charge, then your kid's gonna be atheist. That's what happened with this lady here.
The way they
you
raised
did not like about them growing up.
I mean, there are certain things, but like I said, I don't expect perfection from it. And the thing
But
is,
you did as a
whenever
child. You might not now because you're older, you understand. But as a child, you expected that from your parents, right?
What?
Well, kids don't.
What? Yeah, but kids are fucking stupid, man. That's like what you're like. Yeah, but kids think stuff when there's, But what are the stupid stuff you thought when you were a kid? And like, come on, man. Like, what are you trying to do here? It's so weird. This. He always gets in like some kind of like line of questioning where he thinks he's going somewhere, but because he's driven by so many assumptions that are not true, he just ends up sounding ridiculous, like he's just beating a dead horse that nobody knows is even there. Like, it's just fucking weird.
Oh, I mean, I didn't really the thing is when I was young, I didn't realize when things were bad. It's only whenever you're older and you look back and you realize certain issues and can look at it.
Christians expect perfection, okay? Just who the fuck expects perfection from others? Yeah, Christians do, because them's the rules, okay? And if you aren't perfect, you better repent and then be perfect forever, okay? Till you die, so then you don't have to try to be perfect because then you just are forever. So that's how that goes. I was like, oh, thanks, man. And then he said, friend is the best part of my morning. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We have fun. You know, the whole point is just to have fun, right? You know, I try not to make it too serious, although sometimes it's not my fault and it gets too serious. But Grand Theft Auto said James Summerton was a gay YouTuber of some prominence. He was exposed as a plagiarist by H Bomber guy as well. Okay, I feel like I recognize a lot of these names, but it's like a circle of YouTube I'm not familiar with. He threw his co-writer under the bus, tried to claim he attempted to what? Unalive himself. Oh, geez, that's fucked up. What the hell? Damn, that's gross. Jesus, that's I did not see that one coming. Wow, that got dark quick. My goodness. Hey, Andromeda, what's up? Andromeda Monominous. How we doing? Well, God is expecting perfection while saying that he can't be. While saying that we can't be. Yeah, it's almost as if the Christianity is like incoherent or something. I know, it's crazy. It's weird how that goes, right?
With a mature perspective.
So when your mother would get on your nerves as a kid, you didn't think that was bad?
What the fuck are you doing?
What do you mean?
When she would irritate you, cause you to
make me clean my room?
When she would cause you to become angry, did you think that was good or bad at the time?
When I was
what? This is the stupidest line of questioning. Like, what does he think he's doing with this? Where does he think he's going here? He's like, well, your mom made you clean your room and you then drove you to anger. Was that, would you think that was bad at the time? At the time, when you were a kid, though, did you think it was bad when your mom made you angry? Fucking what, man? Why don't you just answer your own fucking question? Because that's how stupid that question is.
As a kid, I didn't want to clean my room.
Did you think it was bad?
Did you think it was bad?
I mean, I don't really see it as good or bad. It's just, a kid doesn't want to clean their room or go to bed. I wanted more candy than I was given. Like normal.
So your father was a traveling guy because he was into music.
Let me switch gears here. Okay, that clearly didn't pan out the way I thought it would.
Did that allow you to grow up close to him, or there's a little separation there?
It was a little bit of separation, but I feel like whenever I got older, I feel like I'm very close with him now.
And what brought you closer to him now?
There was a point when I was in high school where we had a very honest conversation with each other, and he treated me like an adult and opened up to me in ways that he hadn't before. And
no, don't do that, because then you open up a whole, then you end up biting people, right? And then it spreads, and then everybody ends up being undead, and it's just a big mess. Then you end up chasing finger aims through a mall, and it's just a whole thing. And we don't want to have to go through all that, it's a lot. So I'd appreciate it if you didn't. Don't read from that book, okay? It's like a book with a scary face on. Anyway, it's the whole thing.
And it felt really great. And then from there on, we established a very solid relationship.
Do you believe that we are born in a fallen state?
No.
You don't believe that?
No, I mean, I don't.
Is that what his thing means? That is his the name of his. Oh, look, he has the questions labeled on it. That's funny. Okay. Is that why his channel is called the Fallen State or whatever? Okay. That's funny because I'm in my head. It was absolutely political. The fallen state. You know what I mean?
I said I don't believe anyone's perfect, but to say that you're born into a fallen state is to say that there was a state at which you could have been that you fell from, and I don't really think that way. I feel like there is just the state you're born into.
And are you happy with the state that you're in now?
I am happy with the decisions and the way that I live my life, yeah.
You have perfect peace?
I feel very peaceful.
How about perfect peace?
I'm not sure what that means.
You don't know?
God, Jesse is this wackadoo, dude. Al said, so she was a kid, like a normal kid, Holy shit. Yes, that's it. I love that because he's just like, what the hell, man? I would have thought that you'd been like a survivor of a bombing of some sort. Maybe like, one of those extras in an action movie that just everybody gets mowed down in the mall and the guy's swinging from the roof and then you survive. And so you're like, now I got to be an atheist because that's the only thing that makes sense. Or I don't know, just have like your parents were just both crackheads, right? That leads to atheists, right?
Who that is?
I mean, there are things in this world that make me very uneasy. So whenever I think about, different issues around the world, it makes me, not feel that peaceful. But within myself and then the life that I live, I'm
more dissidents. I can't believe this guy is actually allowing a woman to actually talk on his show. He isn't he supposed to? Isn't he opposed to women speaking? Yeah, I honestly, he's being far nicer. I mean, we still got halfway to go here, but he's being far nicer than I thought this was gonna. Like he was being more mean to Ray Comfort, which is strange. But maybe maybe he's got to warm up to it and get the boxing gloves ready. He's got to blow on him for luck and everything, and do this whole like build up before he just pops all over her face. Okay, and if you want somebody to pop all over your face, go to adamandeve.com. Enter code word Brandley and check out. Get 50% off almost any one item. 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. Go to adamandeve.com. Enter that code word Brently. Brently. Get your butt some stuff. Seriously, just do it. Get your butt some stuff. Put it in there right now.
I'm happy with it.
So during those times when you have conflict within, what causes you to have conflict?
The most internal conflict I face is based on like personal relationships that I have, mostly in dating. It's difficult. I tend to focus on the good parts of people.
Me too.
Maybe a little bit more than I should.
Right.
Which makes me more trusting than maybe I should be, because I'm like, yeah, they have this track record, or yeah, they've done these bad things, but they have these great qualities. And then I somehow think that the other stuff isn't going to affect me, and then it does, and I'm, having to deal with those things in my life. But
so you've had bad relationship with guys. You've been married before too,
I
right?
have, yes.
And why did you divorce?
Well, he had inappropriate relations with another person.
Oh,
He cheated on you.
Yes.
Were you surprised that your husband would cheat on you?
I was.
Why?
Because he seemed like such
but they're in a fallen state. Oh man, they're in a fallen state. And alpha males got to do
a straight-laced kind of person.
Did he not get into all the alpha shit yet? Like, or something like, this is way too normal of a Jesse Lee Peterson so far. This is fucking weird, man.
Was he a Christian?
He was. And
what?
His is the family that was very evangelical.
It's so funny. Have you seen that? Fuck. I almost wanted to cover it. There was this what is it called? Ashley Madison documentary about it was like a website that people would use specifically for cheating, right? And I think specifically for married people cheating. That way, if you have like one married person cheating and another married person cheating, there is far less likelihood that anybody will find out, because it's like a mutual, what was it, like a mutual destruction or whatever the fuck this is called. And so it's just for that. And there was this Christian YouTuber weirdo, man, that like went viral a couple different times. A lot of it was very fake. It was pretty obvious that it was staged and everything. But they did like one of those family vlog things, and he ended up getting caught up in it all because what ended up happening, like all of the data got hacked. Of course, somebody got pissed at that company and released all the data and all the names of everybody on that website. So and that Christian YouTuber, and I was thinking about going back, and they're still together. That's the crazy thing. The wife just keeps on, they're hardcore fucking Christians. So she's not allowed to be, she has to forgive, in other words, right? But yeah, I was thinking about covering that. But YouTube has a weird thing about kids. Like if you have, if you watch videos with kids, it's a problem. So I was like, fuck, I can't really do that because that's sort of their whole thing is all the kids. So I don't know, man. But like, yeah, it was. I almost wanted to cover that because they were just so cringy and they was just so stupid, and I don't know. It's crazy. Does anybody know what I'm talking about?
I mentioned before, they are the most religious people that I've ever interacted with, really, or that I've had extensive conversations with and have been influenced by. So I guess I just felt safe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Wolfo said 6 years of Trump have made him more free to be an outright misogynist bigot. I think you might be right because this is crazy weird that he hasn't. I mean, that he hasn't just like completely just like been a complete fucking asshole bigot and just saying the shit outright. But yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what it was. Jesus, Michael, hey, you made it. It's okay too. You got about halfway. We got about halfway left, so you're good. You're good.
Safe, thinking that he, grew up. He grew up in a very small town, very conservative town, and I thought that
right now she's talking about her husband cheated on her. Cheated on her, and so that's why she got a divorce. Okay,
maybe since he had those parts.
It's kind of nice. I could see it down here. Why did you divorce? He puts the questions at the bottom. Very professional, Jesse.
To him that he wouldn't.
Do you have children with him?
No.
You have no kids at all?
No.
And so were you a difficult person to live with and deal with?
I mean, I feel like
Yes, I actually am. I am the worst. I don't know if you know this, but I'm a terrible person. And so I'm saying he just wants to dive out the window. We live 6 stories up too. He just wants to dive out at any second because of me. That's right.
I didn't.
What the fuck did you expect her to say, man?
Have enough time. I didn't have enough time. Medical school took all of my time.
So you didn't have enough time for your husband?
Probably not, ideally. But the thing is like
when you say probably, that doesn't sound like yes or no to me.
I started med school the week and a half after we got married. So, like statistically, most relationships in the first year and a half.
Oh, okay. That's funny. At first, it took me a second to figure out what you were talking about. Grand Theft Autobot said, "Yeah, I remember those ads on TV too." And I was like, "Is that really advertising what I think it's advertising?" Yeah, because they had like a whole TV campaign of like, "Hey, we got to get people we got to advertise cheating on your wife to get them to come to our company or whatever." It's so fucking weird, dude.
Of medical school fail because of the demands it puts on the student. The week and a half after we got married. So like statistically, most relationships in the first year and a half of medical school fail because of the demands it puts on the student.
And so you didn't have enough time for him. What else that made it difficult for him to deal with you?
So you didn't give your husband the time that you should have been giving your husband. That's the reason why. No, don't talk over me. That's what I'm saying. That's what I said. It is. Okay, moving on. Next reason that
they're with you.
I guess I was very interested in social media. I liked YouTube. Man. Whenever I first started making videos on YouTube, all of them focused around animal rights. I was big into animal rights. Right. I was trying to promote the vegetarian lifestyle. I would talk about factory farms and these types of things. This was long before I started talking about religion on my channel. And I would, post these videos online.
That's fascinating. I could see that being, that could be some decent content out there trying to, although it'd be very, I don't know if I could stomach it. That stuff gets tough to watch sometimes. Like anytime I've tried to watch a vegan documentary, I'm like, fuck this shit halfway through. And then I can't eat for like the next 3 days, right? Because I'm just like, I know I'm just going to eat a piece of lettuce for the next 3 days. What is ranch dressing made of? There's something, there's milk in it. Fucking with the cows, all right. I'm just eating the lettuce. That is it.
And he would get mad because he thought it was frivolous, a waste of time. He kind of belittled my hobby.
But you're not telling me what was difficult about you, not him, because
I was difficult because I was super into my hobby, which is YouTube. And I get it. It gets irritating when we have too much fun with it. You know what I mean?
You're not an easy person to live with and deal with. It seemed like you might have been insecure or demanding or controlling.
Wow.
And
It
did
seems
he-
like I would be like that.
Yeah.
Really?
You know.
What about me exudes that?
Because God, he's just an assumption factory, isn't he? He's like, oh, no, he cheated on you, so it's got to be your fault. So you probably must be controlling, or it's like, because he just can't fathom a guy actually just being a dickhead and cheating on his wife for no, just because he's a fucking dickhead. No, it's got to be her fault, and he's trying to get her to fucking say that it's her fault for somehow.
Because you're not telling me the things about you, you're telling me the things about him, and normally.
Well, no, this is the
people
thing
do
about
that.
me.
They don't-
Right,
they
I know.
don't-
This
they
is the
don't-
thing about me.
They don't tell their.
This is the
fault.
thing about me, though. That was the fact that I would do these things online. Also, he didn't agree with a lot of my positions on animal rights.
Right.
We would get into debates oftentimes too about women's rights. So we had differing stances on certain issues, but I don't feel like any of these things was the one thing. And I feel like,
Did you love him at the time?
very much.
So why didn't you give up those things for your marriage?
Because I fell out of love for him. I mean, whenever he started doing these things, I couldn't get past it. I tried for a good 2 years after the fact.
Right.
And I
so
just
did
lost.
you fall out of love with him before he cheated or after he cheated?
Oh, after. It was a thing that I couldn't get over. I couldn't.
Jesse could not be more stupid. Like, I swear. Like, so wait, did you not fall out of love after he cheated, or was it before he cheated? Like, what do you? Of course, fucking after. Like, she said that was the reason for the. You know what?
Like, being intimate was
Stupid.
not possible for me anymore, just because I could just think of this other person.
Do you believe in absolutes?
Moral absolutes?
Period.
Any absolutes, man? Are you fucking? Yeah, of course. Like, oh my god, does he know what he's asking when he's asking it? Yes, of course. There's fucking just any absolute. Are there absolute things? Yes, of course. But like, there aren't moral absolutes, and there aren't absolutes at any time when we're talking about anything that has nuance, right? But I don't. He never has any context. He just like, oh no, like the absolutes don't exist. Yeah, absolutes do exist, man.
It depends on what do you mean?
More? Do you believe in moral
She
absolutes?
just said.
Like objective
She
morality?
just said no, man. What the fuck?
Right.
No.
Why not?
Well, I mean, I think you can. I feel like most people's moral compass is shaped by the society they live in, the people that they're surrounded with. What is the norm? What's expected of them? And I feel like this can change drastically depending on where you grew up, what time period you live in. And I feel like to say that these types of choices aren't subjective is wrong. Because if there were some kind of objective morality, some like clear line between right and wrong that everyone just knew.
I don't know if is there, and see, this is where I get down in the mire here, but like, isn't there a difference between absolute morality and objective morality? I thought like absolute had to do with like the outcomes are what always matters or something like that. Like it is completely irrespective of intentions, right? So like if a doctor kills somebody or something, that would be equal to somebody trying to kill somebody or something like that. Like I feel like I had this conversation when we were on when I was on Skeptic Haven, and a caller called in and talked about absolute morality. I could be mistaken. Maybe it was he like mischaracterized it or something, but I just feel like I remember that.
Then there wouldn't be so much debate. Even within Christianity, there are a lot of Christians that can't collectively agree on issues like gay rights, abortion, divorce. I feel like that kind of disproves it.
Most people know right from wrong, but in their fallen state, they have decided to accept wrong and not deal with what's right, because it would require them admitting to themselves that they are wrong.
This is way too complex for Jesse. There's no possible way, given what he just said, he does not understand the fact that it's his opinion of what he thinks right and wrong is, and and each of us have that, right? There is no like objective standard to be like, this is a, unless of course you put it in some kind of like closed system of like the, you know, the goal is the best well-being for everybody. And then it's a non-subjective evaluation of consequences of actions with respect to the specific goal being the best well-being for everybody. But that's still is debatable too, because like we can argue about what is the best well-being, right? But that, I feel like that gets you closer to objective morality than any kind of religion or anything like that, because they just start acting, they just start making up rules that is what they think their God wants everybody to behave like, and then get mad when everybody doesn't behave the way that they think they should based on what they subjectively interpret their God to want people to behave like.
And the ego doesn't want you to admit that you're wrong, so they chosen to go that route
No, I
of
disagree.
pretense.
It's so it went right over his fucking head. He is lost on the objective moral. Like I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't know what objective meant. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't, you know, understand absolute, objective, or any of these concepts at all. Like, you know what I mean? I don't think he understands any of it. He doesn't strike me as a fucking philosophy guy. You know what I mean?
I disagree.
So do you know right from wrong?
I feel like I conduct myself in the most ethical way possible, and
Yeah.
I weigh the pros and cons of every choice that I make.
I think you're right. The Lord Dissident said, I think he means objective morality when he says absolute morality. Yeah, I think you might be right. And but I don't know, because I've heard yeah, I mean it because I've heard Matt Dillahunty talk about absolute morality, and he takes it like from a moral dictates kind of perspective, right? So I'd have to look more into the difference. I'm going to actually look into that and get back with y'all, because I'm actually interested in that. I like morality kind of like conversation stuff. I like moral philosophy and shit.
Can I try to choose the ones that benefit society as a whole and cause the least amount of suffering?
Is that
There you go.
based on knowing right from wrong?
It's
The reason you
based
decided-
on no. It's based off of my ethics.
Do you know right from wrong?
I don't believe that there is a standard definition of right from wrong. I understand what you're trying to say,
Okay.
but I feel like, again, that implies a sense of objectivity that I don't think is right. I feel like it's a very subjective thing. My right from wrong is very different than the right from wrong of people in Iraq.
Is it wrong to hate your fellow man?
I don't feel that that is good for other people or yourself.
Is it wrong?
For me personally, yes.
Is it wrong, period?
I don't believe
How
that
do
there
you
is
not-
a period objective wrong for everyone as a whole.
He does not understand that what he means. Like, your standard is what applies to everybody. You can't be looking at it like everybody has their own standards. No, that's way too nuanced for them.
For the radical homosexuals who hate the Christians,
Radical homosexuals.
are they wrong?
I've never heard that term.
Radical homosexual. First of all, they're just but basically those are just homosexuals that skateboard and wear their hat backwards and have like the hair sticking out. They're radical, dude. Like,
I have never, and you know what? I don't really know of homosexuals that hate Christians, and mostly it's the other way around.
Are you kidding?
No, it's,
You're not being honest with me right now.
no, I've
Have you
never
heard
met a
of
gay
those-
person that hates Christians.
Have you heard of those radical homosexuals who have gone after the Christian bakers and they take them to court? They
Oh,
sue
okay.
them? Have you?
so that they were radical homosexuals that sued the bakery because they were refused a wedding cake because they were gay. And they're the radicals now, the people that were literally refused service by a bigot because they're like, oh no, we don't serve your kind here. And you know, almost like the robots, you know, in Star Wars, that was like that sort of thing. But with gay people at a bakery. And yeah, but they were the radicals for being like, fuck you, man. We're gonna sue you. Right? That's radical, man. That's the only the crazy hating Christian, you know, Christian hating gay people would sue a bakery for being refused service that they provide for literally everybody else. Jesus Christ.
You heard of those things?
I have.
Is that right for them to do that?
I think this is a very this is a difficult topic.
Why?
um,
It's mighty easy for me.
Yeah, I know.
Well,
This
yeah,
is, and this is,
you're a very simple person, man. That's
proves my point that there's not an objective morality.
Is it right for those homosexuals, radical homosexuals, to do that to the Christians?
do what?
I feel like
Do fucking what, man? Sue them because they refuse to service? That's literally illegal to do based on the Bill of Rights. Like, what are you talking about, man?
if someone is going to discriminate against someone because they are gay, then that person doing that, I believe in free speech. So that person is open to all of the ridicule that they get.
But you're not
Hold on a
answering my
second. Hold on,
question.
I'm getting there.
You're
They
getting
should
there.
expect the ridicule that they're going to get, and in my opinion, deserve for discriminating against somebody like that. Do they deserve to be put out of business legally? Absolutely not. If they suffer business because people are turned off by this company based off of those choices, that's their problem. But legally, I don't feel like the government should shut down a business based off of that type of thing. No.
And so,
I don't know. I actually already disagree. I mean that if that means that you can put like a like white people only or some shit, and that you're saying that company shouldn't be shut down. I think that I disagree. I think that legally should be shut. I don't think we'd have to. I don't think we should have to fucking rely on public opinion in that type of situation to shut down a bigot business. You know what I mean? But it's got to be something overt, though. It can't, it can't be something like, oh, I kind of feel like whatever. It needs to be overt like that situation, which was why they were able to sue. Of course, I think they got off or whatever because of the psycho Supreme Court, right? But anyway.
you're saying then that when the radical homosexuals went after those,
I don't like that
Radical.
term. I don't like that term, radical. The thing is these people are people that have been putting up with a society of people discriminating against them because of who they are. They are tired of it. And unfortunately, sometimes it manifests in this way. And I don't think it's fair that the government would step in to do something about this. But if these people are receiving a backlash, it is one that has been long overdue.
So is it wrong for the radical homosexuals to go after the Christians? Yes.
Why
To
do
go
you,
after them in what sense?
To force
The thing
them
is,
to bake a
is
cake.
I don't feel like
Let me
no,
finish
I
the
don't feel
question.
like they should be
To
forced to do
force
anything.
them to bake a cake.
No, not forced.
Okay.
But if they receive ridicule as a result of not being
I got
open
that.
to this type of thing, then yes.
So once the bakers said no, then the homosexuals took them to court to put them out of business. Was that
No, it
wrong?
was not to put them out of business. It was to rectify the harm that was caused against them, right? As far as I understand, and I mean, I guess it would make it so that you can't discriminate on those grounds in the future. But of course, they always try to twist this all around and make it like, oh, well, so then you got to they'd have to make a Nazi cake and all this shit, when that's not what they were asked to do. They were just buying a cake, not a cake that's like, can you put a penis and a butt on the cake and then have them like, maybe like bounce lines so we could tell that it's going,
Or is that wrong?
The thing
For the
is,
radicals to
not what
take the
happened.
Christians to court.
At that point, it's up to the court to decide.
No. Is it wrong for the
Force
radical
them to-
homosexuals to take them to court once the Christians said no?
No, if they want to take them to court, they are welcome to take them to court.
it
It's
right to
free
do that?
speech. It's free speech. What I don't think would be right would be for the court to then convict them and shut down their business.
The Christians should take the radical homosexuals.
I think
Yeah,
it's
I already did. Yeah, I don't know. I already feel like I disagree with her on this because this is like where you get into that, like where we go from free speech means that you get to be a bigot and own a business and not be held legally responsible for that. And I disagree. I think like civil rights, when it comes to bigotry and shit, the problem with bigotry is that we have to fucking fight back. We have to force them. Because otherwise they won't, and they never would. If we had just left it up to free speech, civil rights, the civil rights movement would have never gotten anywhere. You had to force them legally to do shit, right? And force them legally to allow the kids in the swimming pool and people to be able to use the same water fountains and shit like that. You can't leave it up to fucking public opinion, clearly, because the public opinion at that time was not on the side of what was right. So you have to do it legally. So I don't know. I disagree with that. I think they should not necessarily have their business shut down, but they should be forced to make cakes for gay people too. It's the fucking business model, just like what he was saying. Who said that? Oh, Grand Theft Autobot said, yeah, force them to make. You're paying them. You're paying them for a fucking service that they claim to provide. And then what they're doing is saying, no, I can reject your money because of your minority status. And we hate you, so we don't have to make shit for you. You don't count as a human in the society. And it's like, no, dude, you should be forced to do that, or maybe like removing a bunch of, I don't even know like how the business stuff would work, but they're like because of like infrastructure and stuff, they're able to have that business because of the government having infrastructure, like the roads that lead them there and all the taxes and everything like that, that gay people pay. They should be allowed to have access to the services of that business because that business, is has the the infrastructure to be able to have the business in the first place. So they should have to serve everybody. I don't understand how this is something that is controversial, but I don't know. I mean, it sucks that they fucking lost. They lost, and now they can basically just be allowed to be big fucking bigots,
Kind of amazing that you're focusing so much on this type of thing. Why don't you take a second and put into perspective the amount of hate and laws?
Mr. Anti-Idiotic. I like that name. What's going on, dude? Daily Disciple. He sounds really familiar. Which one? Is that the debate guy? Is that the one that's like debate teacher reacts to? Is that one? Or is that a different one? There's a couple different daily something or others or daily dose of wisdom or daily, I can't remember. What did you say? Daily Disciple. I don't know. I'd have to I don't know. Maybe pop a link in the chat there or something, and I'll take a look, see what's up. So some of those are fun, but some of them just aren't funny. You know what I mean? They're kind of just like boilerplate fucking debate shit that's not as interesting to me. But I don't know. Maybe what? Oh my God! Shut the.
That have been passed to take away rights from people who are gay. That is the bigger conversation here. What we're talking about here is the minority. Really? Because gay marriage was just passed.
But they have never been able to get married, so that wasn't taken away from them.
It is a right that was not given to them.
So
do you feel like that women before women had the right to vote, they shouldn't have fought for that?
So let me go back to the original question. So if the Christian
Amber said, Daily Dope is hard to cover since he just watches other people's videos in silence. Hard to find stuff to make jokes with. Okay. Yeah. Is that the younger kid? Is that the kid that I'm talking? Is that him? There's like that one kid that like, he's like, okay, so here's the video. This is what it is. And then I was like, and he's like, and then I'll show up on the back end. And then he shows up on the back end. He's like, yep, that was the video. All right. And it was a video and it was all right. So, bye folks. And he was like, how is this content? Like, how the fuck is this? Is like, you're just taking their content. You didn't do anything, man. You didn't add anything. You didn't like provide any context. You didn't do anything. It's just like, how the fuck? And then yet they get huge type of, it's just like, yeah, but my video selection is what really just stands out there, the fuck, dude. I'm so stupid. Let's see. Al said, I'd rather not enforce it, but it's effing stupid to turn down gay money. It's just as green as straight people's money. I think we do have to enforce it because, like I said, like otherwise we would still be having to have, having black people kicked out of restaurants and shit like that, and like white people only, stuff like that. With bigotry, you have to enforce it. I'm sorry, but that's what it has to be. If you have a business, you got to fucking do your business for everybody. Let me provide a caveat here. When it is not a personal thing that you as an artist have to make for a person, that I think is different. If you're just selling stuff, you got to sell the stuff that you sell to everybody. If they ask you to personally create a piece of art or something, and want it done a particular way, like an artist and stuff like that, then you can turn down what you want to turn down. But here's the thing. You can't, I would still say, you can't turn it down and say, the reason I am turning you down is because you are gay. That's all you have to not do in order to be able to turn somebody down. All you got to do is say, I'm turning you down for any other reason other than you're gay. Okay. That's how that should work. If you say, no, the reason that I'm turning you down, or the reason that I won't make this for you is because you're gay and I don't make stuff for gays, well, then now it's in violation of civil law. Right. So that's the difference here. Okay. But if you just sell products at a fucking store, you got to sell those products to fucking everybody. Okay. They tried to equivocate between these two different types of services, and that's just not the same thing. They didn't ask them to make a cake of a butt and a dick going in the butt. That's not what it was. You know what I mean? Like, can you draw two people having sex, two guys having sex on the cover of the cake? That's not what happened. They just asked for a cake. Okay, so it's different. This is where it gets so stupid, and everybody's just pretending to be, like they, acting like you get it, and it's just like, shut the fuck up, man. We can tell what's going on here.
Who took the radical homosexuals to court? Would that be right for the Christians to do it?
Yeah, you can take anybody to court.
Would it be right?
Want. You can do whatever you want.
No, I know we can do.
I don't believe in an objective morality that says something is right or wrong. It's everybody's individual experience as a human being. If they feel slighted in some way and they feel that that is the best way to essentially stand up for themselves, then do it. You will learn in the end that you can't win legal battles like that.
Do you discriminate?
Yeah.
You don't discriminate.
The Daily Disciple is one of those people that think atheism is a lie. I don't. The atheism is a lie. That's a weird way to say that. That's funny. Yeah, I don't. It's weird because it's just like, I'm just not convinced that like, you would think that it would be the opposite or whatever. It just sounds funny saying it that way. Although I know, I get what you're saying. Don't get me wrong. Like they're saying like the belief that a God doesn't exist is a lie, but it's just like, there's so many fucking negatives in that sentence. It's unreal. It's like double and triple and quadruple negatives. But yeah, no, I got you. So he's a fundy. He's a fundamentalist, right?
I make a conscious effort to not discriminate.
Is it wrong to discriminate?
In my opinion, yes.
And do you discriminate?
No.
You never discriminate.
I try my very best to not.
Do you ever discriminate?
I feel like.
All right, look, idiot. This guy's a fucking moron. Look, hey, dickhead. Look, listen to me, okay? Real quick here. You fucking dumb shit. He said you are pushing homo agenda on Christians when you don't want theists to push stuff on you. Hypocrisy is the term, I think. Did you fucking hear what I said? Okay, if there was an atheist and the Christian came in and said and had a cross around his neck, okay, and the atheist was like, I don't make cakes for Christians, get out, that would be wrong. That's what I'm saying. But I, as the atheist, could say, I don't have time. I'm sorry, I can't make it today. I got like any other reason I can say to not make a cake for you. Right now, we're all out of whatever. I'm not going to be able to do the thing you want me to do. I just can't say I won't make a cake for you because you are a Christian. That's the only thing that you have to not say if you want to not provide the service, because then it's bigotry. Like, will you fucking listen, man? Use your goddamn brain for like 2 seconds. Holy shit. Fucking idiot. Damn.
To say no, I don't know if there has ever been a time in my life where I've discriminated.
When different guys approach you, there's some that you like and some that you don't. We have our taste in people, right? Do you say, yes, I'll go with you, to the guy that you're not attracted to?
Well, actually, I have before.
Have you ever turned down guys?
What?
Well, of course. I'm always in a relationship.
Why would you say that?
So you
I
discriminate?
actually like to fuck people I'm not attracted to. It's actually a turn on. It's weird. It's like it's an opposite. It's a kink thing. It's a kink. When I have sex with unattractive people, it's like that. Just it's a whole humiliation thing. I have to wear like anyway. That's a thing.
Well, if I'm in a relationship, no. That is consciously twisting my words, which is frustrating.
I'm not twisting your
no,
words.
you are. You're
I'm
trying
just
to
telling you the facts.
No, I mean, like, making a decision, personal preferences, tastes. I mean, if I choose tonight,
I love that. Gisela said, the dangerous gay agenda will make us all down, or will make us all down in glitter, or drown in glitter. Yeah, I'd be okay with that one. You know, glitter's nice, right? I always got to pick it off after I go to the strip club, you know, because that just stuff. It's like they got hoses, like water hoses, but it's just not water. It's that glitter stuff, right? This gets everywhere.
If I choose tonight to eat pizza instead of spaghetti, I don't feel that I'm discriminating against spaghetti. Like, that's kind of ridiculous to equate discrimination against a group of people based off of race, religion, or gender as the same thing as picking a flavor of soda.
Do you agree with the feminist movement of today?
Man, that's hard. I agree with the standard definition of feminism, that men and women should be equal. But there are a lot of feminists today that I just cannot stand by because they almost thrive on their hatred towards the entire gender of men.
Yes.
And
no, that's first wave. Never mind. You know, I'm not going to go into the feminist thing, but that's a different thing.
That is not something I feel comfortable aligning with.
Can you give me an example of feminists who are doing that?
Oh, yeah. There is this idea of a rape culture that they keep pushing all over the place.
Huh?
The major issue I have with feminism is they take things that are real issues and exaggerate them to the point where it becomes almost like a boy who cried wolf scenario.
Yeah.
And then whenever there are real cases of these problems that need to be taken seriously, people don't. And I feel like they're doing more of a disservice to feminism as a whole than they are helping.
What?
Who you voted for?
Okay, starting to see why this is why it's funny because I'm like, and full disclosure, I didn't watch this ahead of time. Okay, so that's so funny. So, and I told you I'd like looked up earlier. We were talking about like how I looked up the controversy with her, and it was something with feminism, and that was what I was saying. And now I'm starting to see why. Now she's like saying that the feminists that are calling out the problem of grape culture or whatever, it's their fault because now it's a boy who cried wolf kind of situation, because it couldn't possibly be the case that it is actually a lot more common than we thought. Right? But wow, dude. Okay.
This time around for
That's
President
wild.
Trump or Hillary?
Voting for Hillary.
Okay.
For Hillary. Why not Trump?
Trump is insane.
In what way?
See, this is really old, y'all. This is really old. It was Hillary against Trump.
Well, he just recently accused Hillary, Hillary and Obama as being part of ISIS. And he also suggested that people...
I must have forgotten about that one. Jesus Christ. What? When did... See, this was back when I wasn't paying attention to shit at all. Like, I was still... I'm pretty sure I might have even still been a Christian, or like in the middle of my deconversion when this came out.
Who are Second Amendment people, his words.
It's like 7 years ago. Yeah, it might have been like, I might have just deconverted.
Take care of Hillary so that she doesn't have her pick of the Supreme Court justices.
Yeah, exactly.
And what do you think he meant?
This is being debated, but it was pretty clear to me and most people that he was suggesting in a joking way, but still it's not funny to suggest shooting someone.
He wasn't.
Oh, really? Oh, I see. So you were just saying the name of the video that they said. Okay. I was just going to say, because that's just a weird way to say it. Nothing against you or them or anything like that. It's just a funny way to say atheism is a lie. And it's like, that's almost like saying like people that don't believe in leprechauns is a lie, or like not believing in leprechauns is a lie. It's like, what the fuck? This is all backwards. Like, anyway, but okay. I'll have to, I'll check the dude out though. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll throw one of those in the queue. I've got a growing queue at this point, and we're going all over the place. Okay, I'm going to try to do a bunch of stuff, mostly Ray Comfort because that's my favorite. But yeah, but we're going all over the place. I'll try a Daily Disciple.
Suggested that at all.
I'll agree to disagree. And there are other things.
But you realize by voting for Hillary, you're discriminating against Trump, right?
No, that is not. That is not. True. You cannot apply discrimination. You cannot equate discrimination against race, religion, people of different ethnicities.
Who made that decision?
You can't equate discrimination against groups of people to making choices and preferences in political parties, in the food that you eat, and what I decided to wear this morning.
When Hillary Clinton
Not the
was
same.
running for president, and
He's like, I'm not going to even address that you said anything. Because he keeps trying to, he just thinks that like anything is bigotry. It's almost like when I, talk about how like white people like think, not like white people, but like some white people sit there and say that like, oh, they're being racist against white people. And it's like, most people would be like, that's not really a thing. Because it just doesn't really make sense. You're part of the majority. You're in a place where it's a majority white place, and acting like that's bigotry, because they just, it's just like flipping it around. It's like, dude, you don't have the same experience as that demographic of people. And even to try to just come up with a scenario where you're like, it'd be like if you were, it'd be very difficult to even do that for white people, because like they've always, it'd be like, oh, if white people were a minority in a different country and were previously owned by the other people in that country, and try to imagine all that stuff, and then it might be the same as because it's just not, you can't flip it like that, dude. It doesn't make sense to do that. It can't be racist against a fucking majority. It doesn't make sense.
it was apparent that Barack Obama was going to win, and they was encouraging her to get out, the Democrats were. And she said, no, this is not over until June. Bobby Kennedy was assassinated in June. Was she implying that Obama might be
This is ridiculous.
assassinated?
Trump
He does.
specifically.
No,
Yeah, he's like, he just changed the subject. It's like, anyway, I'm gonna go over here. We're gonna talk about something else. So we're still talking about it.
Say that
Take
about
care.
Hillary.
No,
Was Hillary
of course not.
implying
She
that?
supported Obama.
Was Hillary? So why is it that Hillary can throw out the hint of assassination?
She wasn't. She was
while
talking about an
mentioning
election.
While
This is-
mentioning Barack Obama's name at the same time.
What the fuck are we talking about? Hold on, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I'm like, what the hell is happening?
Was she implying that Obama might be
This is ridiculous.
assassinated?
Trump.
Did she imply that Obama might be assassinated? I don't know.
Specifically
No, answer
said
that
to
about
take care.
Hillary.
No,
Was Hillary
of course not.
implying
She
that?
supported Obama.
Was Hillary? So why is it that Hillary can throw out the hint of assassination?
She wasn't. She was
while
talking about an
mentioning
election.
While
This is-
mentioning Barack Obama's name at the same time, and you don't see that as a suggestion
Because she
that
wasn't.
that she wanted Barack Obama.
She
to
wasn't.
Are you an honest person?
Yeah.
That isn't. I have no idea what the fuck he's even talking about. This is clearly something that was in the news, pretty blatantly, enough so that they seem to like not even really feel like putting, bringing out the full context. Almost like the cake thing just happened. I just happened to know that one because there was a Supreme Court case tied to it. But
Yes.
You would consider yourself honest?
Yes.
Are you being honest now?
Yes.
You are.
Yes.
Hillary is a liar.
Well,
She is,
Trump is also a liar.
lying
I just
Hillary.
prefer
Do you
the
agree
liar.
that she's a liar?
I think yes. I think that she is. She's a politician.
Why would
Unfortunately,
you vote for a person where you know in advance
Mhm.
that they're a liar?
because Trump is a liar, and I'd rather have the liar that doesn't want to play with nukes.
That's amazing.
Mhm.
Do you support abortion?
abortion. Did you support abortion? Abortion? He talks like a cartoon, dude. What the fuck is that? Jesus. Let's see. Giselle said, have you heard about Shaman Durek? Verret. He's together with the princess here in Norway. She also believes in angels and such. No, I don't think I'm not familiar with that. They do. What's their deal? What are they all about? What does it say? All politicians are liars. Yeah, but I mean, that's always been the case, right? But I feel like it wasn't as explicit before Trump, right? Like there had to be before. I feel like there had to be some like tiny bit of truth that you're twisting back in the day. There's not that anymore. You can literally just say the opposite of a fact. And Trump does. Trump will just say the opposite of a fucking fact constantly, right? And it's like that's a whole new level of lying, right? Like where it's just blatant fucking false shit, But yeah, I mean, politicians have always twisted the truth and stuff, and always left out a lot of information that was maybe not helpful to whatever it was they were trying to sell. But yeah, it wasn't as insane nowadays, as it is nowadays, man. Trump broke us. I swear to God, Trump broke our system completely. We never anticipated somebody that would be so fucking dishonest and just so blatant about it. And then also we didn't foresee that people would just go along with it. As long as there's a cult of personality, people don't give a fuck about the truth. And it's like, wow, dude, to the point of like saying that the elections are stolen and shit. Like that is the opposite of a fact and a dangerous claim of an opposite of a fact. You know what I mean? To the point where they're like, he's trying to fucking steal elections and stuff. It's so dangerous. Anyway,
I am pro-choice.
You're pro-choice. And why is that?
I believe in a woman's right to choose.
To choose to kill a child inside the womb?
I believe it's a fetus, and I believe it's her choice. I wouldn't personally do it, but I am not going to take that away from other people.
Thank you for that. Yeah, Grand Theft Auto Bot said, abortion sounds like something Ricky would say from Trailer Park Boys. Oh, I love Ricky. He's like my favorite. My favorite one that he did was when it was like the place lit on fire. The what do you call it? Their trailer lit on fire, and he was like, "Yeah, it was like golfing in the flames." And he was like, "What?" He's like, like the flames were like golfing, like going up like golf ball, like this. Like, you mean it was engulfed in flame? What the fuck? It was so good, dude. I was cracking me the fuck up, dude. That was awesome.
How would
Love
you do
Ricky.
Because I want kids.
One last question. How did you come up with your YouTube channel?
I used it as an outlet for expressing my opinions because I didn't really have anyone around me that shared them.
Well, I've watched several of your YouTube channels and they're very interesting.
Thank you.
And I encourage you to read.
Michael said, I'd have locked out by now or punched him, but prefer not to go to jail. What the fuck or why the fuck would any minority support the Mango Mussolini? I don't know. Honestly, I didn't think. Well, let me put it this way. I do think that there is kind of a contrarian sort of thing going, because here's the thing. When you're dealing with all the bigotry and everything like that, it makes sense that psychologically that you just don't want to have to deal with all that shit, that reality of bigotry, whatever it may be. Let's go with Milo Yiannopoulos or whatever, right? He's a gay guy. Right. And you don't want to deal with all that bigotry and everything like that. So you instead just act like it's not really there and that you kind of like it, right? So that you can be seen as one of the good ones, right? And it kind of just psychologically, I think, gets people out of like the fight where they feel like they don't have to be doing all of this stuff. But when they do that, we've seen videos of like gay people going to like GOP events and then being called the F slur, like chanted at them, and so you can pretend to ignore it all you want, but it's there and you're just making yourself look like a fucking idiot, and it's all just so you can be seen as one of the good ones by the more powerful of the groups of people, because that's really what it is. I mean, the right wing are, it's a minority, but of usually more powerful type people, and you kind of like want to climb that social ladder and stuff like that. But anyway, there's a whole thing to it, I think. But it's also kind of just sometimes it's just contrarian too. Like some people are just contrarian and just want to just go against the grain, even if it's at the expense of their dignity. And they won't see it that way, of course, but they would see it, losing dignity if you call out the mistreatment of you. It's like you should be a man and just deal with all the people calling you slurs and stuff, but yeah, anyway. Let's see. Thomas said, what's up, Thomas? Said, I've heard about Shaman and the princess. He seems like a complete charlatan. Oh, okay. Oh, so he's okay. Yeah, I'd love to take a look. Do you want to throw a link in the Discord or something? That'd be great. Or just like I said, shoot me an email. I also, emails are easy too. If anybody ever needs to like send me anything or anything like that, emails are really easy. So that way I don't have to like go back and look through everything, because sometimes it gets crowded in there. Or the Discord though, because I do usually read through that every so often, hang out in there. Let's see. Drusilla said he says he can heal people. What? And a book was withdrawn because he had written something like a boy with cancer that it was his own fault. Wait, I don't understand that second part. Wait. He says he can heal people, and a book was withdrawn because he had written something like a boy with cancer that it was his own fault. Yeah, I'm not sure I understand that. Let me see if we can clarify in a bit here. Drusilla said, absolutely, his mother warns against him. I've heard his mom even does. Wow, that's not good. If somebody's mom's like, don't listen to that kid, okay? He's an idiot. Don't do it. That's bad. That doesn't look good. Might be something between them two. It's difficult to know. That's funny. Yeah. Let me see. Yeah, so see if you can find something. I'll definitely take a look. Like I said, or you can just send me an email. It's punkapostate@gmail.com. Yeah.
I think voting for Hillary and stop discriminating against Trump.
Oh yeah, I wish you would stop discriminating against Hillary.
No, I don't like Hillary.
Oh, is that you're discriminating
She
against
is
her?
the devil. I do discriminate. I discriminate all the time, and we all do, including you. Every human being on earth discriminates.
I don't think he knows what that word means. He thinks it just means like a personal preference.
Everyone, and they're lying if they tell you they don't.
I think you need to take into consideration that people use discrimination as something more serious than just making a decision between options.
Amazing.
Discrimination is something that is like insulting. What someone thinks subjectively, their own opinion, their own discriminations that they may have, should not be.
Yeah, I would get in so quick. Lord Disney said, just waiting for Brantley to throw his hat in the ring. Punk State for press. Yeah, that would be great. I would get dozens of votes. Dozens. Okay, so yeah. It wouldn't be fun. Like that would be a fun movie, right? Like I feel like that could be a good movie. That'd be like a romantic comedy or something, probably about a punker YouTuber becoming president. But yeah,
Something that is legally forced onto other people.
We tell that to
anytime that happens, I have a problem.
There's an adult mother who wants to marry her adult son. They say they love one another, and the courts are trying to prevent them from marrying each other.
Yeah, okay, I have a problem.
Should they do that?
I have a problem whenever incest and
Jesus.
pedophilia are.
These people love each other.
No.
They're adults.
Incest.
Why shouldn't they? Incest is not as it's on the same level as two men or two women.
No,
coming
it's actually
together.
no,
not.
it's not. What the fuck? How do we get in this the last second? Damn! Well, you just saved the stupid for the last 2 minutes. Okay. No, man, that's so weird that they try to say these two things are equal to one another. It's just not. Those are only equal to one another because both those things gross out Jesse Lee Peterson, except that they actually don't because he's gay. He's secretly gay. But
You can't have a genetically mutated child by having sex with the same gender.
And so you don't see them on the same level.
Absolutely not. Of course not.
All right.
People
That's
having
absurd.
sex with family
look at the ghost audience they got going here. Why even said make sure to set up all the chairs so it looks like people won't be there, but it looks like people could be there if they wanted to be.
members, with minors, with animals is not on par
But at one
with
time we
gay
saw
marriage.
how gross homosexuality was. too.
No, I
We had
never
the
thought
same
that,
opinion.
actually, ever.
Did you have fun?
Mr. Anti,
Doing
he's
what?
like, what
This.
is wrong with you?
Oh, yes, it was fun.
No.
I enjoy a good conversation.
Yeah, I can tell.
Oh, why is that so jarring? Why does he have it end like it's a fucking movie? Hold on.
Since the day that I was
This guy
born,
produced in part by good God, and by viewers like you. Anyway, Thank y'all for hanging out. This one was a lot of fun. I will be back in the afternoon tomorrow. I think I am gonna have to take one day off this week. I know I like to do them every day, but and hopefully within like the next 2 weeks, I'll be back to this schedule in the morning again. I do not like having to do them in the fucking afternoon. I just don't. I want to do it. I like this right now. Doing them in the morning. It's just that's when I feel better, right? But if you want to feel better, go to adamandeve.com. That's right. Enter that code word Brentley and check out to get 50% off almost any one item, 6 free movies, 3 free gifts, and free shipping on the whole order. And then you can make your butt feel better by putting stuff in it, beads and stuff. Some of the beads vibrate, right? You can even give the remote to somebody else and then they can vibrate your beads whenever they feel like it, and it goes through the phone line. So it's like they don't even have to be in the same state. Not even kidding. That's a thing. Go to adamandeve.com, enter code word Brentley at checkout, and get your exclusive offer. Get your butt some stuff and stuff your butt. It's back to the Seth Andrews again. Just selling butt stuff. That's right. I'll get it. I'll get his thing. But if you want to support the show, you can support us by supporting our sponsor, adamandeve.com, and by entering that code word Brentley at checkout, or there's a bunch of other shit you can do, right? I did just put a new video up on Patreon of it was a Ray Comfort one. It's pretty good. It took me a bit to map it down and everything, but it was a lot of fun. And it was like a punker lady. he gets told off by a punker lady. That was pretty cool. So become a patron. Check it out. We also got a bunch of other ways you can do a one-time thing on Cash App. The cash tag is Punk Apostate. Become a member here. I do all sorts of stuff for members. So it's like yesterday I did a live stream, but if you and that was for everybody. But if you missed it at all, it became a member live stream immediately after. So some of them you can catch live if you're there right on time, but if not, you only members have access to it. So that's another thing that I do all sorts of stuff. Okay. Like I said, if you want to email me, punkapostate@gmail.com, that'd be great. If you want to join the Discord, the links and all that shit will be down in there as soon as I can get them. And you can follow me on all the socials. Right. So, but yeah, seriously, thank y'all for hanging out. This was a lot of fun. It was not as insane as I thought it would be. I'm going to be completely honest here. I thought this was going to go way off the rails way more frequently, and it just didn't until the last fucking second, apparently. But hey, main thing though is to stay logical, loving, skeptical, and compassionate, and we'll see you next time.